And we are back. Happy Thursday, 27th day of May 2021. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I am Dan Kuntz. After an unplanned day off yesterday, one of our most critical pieces of broadcast equipment here at the Metroplex in downtown Wenatchee, Washington, decided to not work yesterday. She just laid down and said, I ain't working. And that prevented us from doing the show yesterday. But all day yesterday, we had our best man working on the problem, and that didn't work, so then we had our next best man work on it. And then we got her up and running. So we're here. As you notice behind me is not the Wenatchee Valley. Long story, you don't need to know. But in any event, it is good to be back. A lot to get to. This is going to be the crazy day weather-wise that we've been talking about all week long. Cold front is beginning to work its way in. We're going to be dealing with some rain this morning. Good possibility of some rain. Cloudy, windy, cooler than normal temperatures. And it's going to stay kind of cool and unsettled until we get to Saturday. Saturday, the warm-up will begin, and then it's going to be downright hot for late May, come Saturday and Sunday and Monday, Memorial Day. And then on Tuesday, the first day of June, and Wednesday, we can be upper 90s. It's a distinct possibility, certainly mid-90s. So get ready for some warm temperatures as we say goodbye to May and welcome June. Forecast details are coming up. There is quite a bit of news to get to. It was another busy day at the bullpen yesterday. We'll touch on that. Mariners tried to come back against Oakland. Oakland took a 6-0 lead. Mariners chipped away, but it wasn't quite enough. We'll have highlights from the Mariners and the Athletics. Also, high school results from last night, bowling and what have you. We'll also have the obscure holiday today in history. Mike McNally's got an opinion. We got some celebrity birthdays. It's Thursday. That means we have Pause for Pets with Ibure the cat, who needs a home. Megan will introduce you to Ibure. And in the back half of the hour, in the interview section, we're getting ready for the Let's Have a Blast Independence Day gathering, which is a go this year at Walla Point Park. Of course, it was a very abbreviated Let's Have a Blast celebration last year because of COVID. You couldn't go down and watch the fireworks and enjoy the entertainment and all the stuff that was going on at Walla Point Park. But it's back this year. We're proud to be a part of it. And I had a chance to sit down with the title sponsor, our friend Jim Heinlein from Springwater Insurance. He's the title sponsor for the Let's Have a Blast 4th of July Independence Day party, and Shiloh Burgess, the executive director of the Wenatchee Valley Chamber of Commerce. We'll have them in the back half of the hour. All right, let's see what we have out here. Well, we got 55 degrees, we got cloudy skies, and that's what we're going to be dealing with most of the day today. The cold front began to roll in overnight. Yesterday's high, 77. Our low on Wednesday was 50. Normally we're at 74 and 51, so it was pretty normal. We're also getting to the point of the year where the difference between the sunrise and sunset starts getting less and less and less. Sunrise this morning, 5:11. Sunset tonight, 8:45. That's 15 hours and 34 minutes of daylight. And that sunset's going to stay about 8:45 for the next week or so. But still, we'll take all the daylight we can get. Good morning to the Wenatchee Valley. Where are we off to, Megan? We're off to see, is that Leavenworth? That's Steins, yeah, because I can see the golf course. I can see the Chelan County Fairgrounds. I can see Captain Wagner's palatial estate. I can see the Kashmir Hilton, the Kashmir International Airport, the Kashmir Dome, the Kashmir Convention Center. A beautiful view from Steins Hill, looking right back towards the Wenatchee Valley. Good morning, Kashmir. Camera number 3. Hello to Jump Off Ridge. A sweeping view of Jump Off Ridge. The valley's way off into the distance. We got Birch Mountain to the center, Badger Mountain to the right, the Stemilt area, Stemilt Basin down below us as the cherries are getting going. Of course, cherry season lasts a little bit longer up here. The cherries come off the trees in the Tri-Cities first, and then Yakima, and then finally here in the Wenatchee Valley. And they harvest cherries really all the way into early August in the Stemilt area and the Wenatchee Heights area. It's a much longer growing season, but the cherries are mighty fine indeed, and I'm told it's going to be a good year for you folks who like cherries, and I am among those. Hello, Jump Off Ridge. Camera 4. That looks to be Valley High, but I could be wrong. I'm either wrong. So which one is it, Megan? Yes, she says, I'm right, it is Valley High. Good morning to Blewett Pass. It's always a pleasure to see you folks. Oh my, Megan cracks me up. Hello, Valley High. From our Valley High Sky-Fi camera, a lot of people use the Sky-Fi system in the Blue Pass area. There's not fiber there, but there's Sky-Fi, and that's good enough. You can get screaming fast internet and live out in the middle of nowhere as long as you have line of sight to one of our Sky-Fi towers, and there's over 100 of them all over the Wenatchee Valley, up north, the Columbia Basin. We got them everywhere. Give a local telecall, see if you qualify. We got three slides to show for you. First of all, here are your winds this afternoon and evening. So we're getting ready for some breezes. You can see the direction it's going to be coming in at, and these are going to be your gusts. This is not sustained winds. These are your gusts, so get ready for some gusty conditions as this cold front, which is packing a pretty good punch, starts rolling into the area. Windiest conditions, the Columbia Basin, the Plains area, and the Wenatchee area, as you can see in the dark tan there. We're going to be in for some pretty good gusts. They're going to get channeled through the canyons and the gaps and pick up a little bit of steam as they roll through the Wenatchee Valley, blowing almost directly west to east. So get ready for some windy conditions later on today into tonight. In fact, it's going to be pretty breezy on Friday and Friday night as well before we finally calm down. So the wind is going to be very persistent starting later on this afternoon and lasting all the way through Friday night. Warning on that. Now, if you're going to be out and about and doing some recreating, these are some of the more popular places people like to go. Republic, Winthrop is gorgeous this time of year because usually it's not too hot. Of course, Chelan, their tourist season kicks off in earnest tomorrow. Some of the other places that people like to camp and recreate. So here's your holiday weekend recreation forecast. If you're going to be out and about, it's going to be a little chilly for some of these overnight lows on Friday night in some locations. As you can see, for instance, Republic and Winthrop, they're going to be down into the 30s for the overnight low. Deer Park, just north of Spokane, they'll be in the 30s. So it's going to be chilly with this cold air coming in many locations. So be sure to pack accordingly because you're going to be cold in that tent Friday night into early Saturday morning. So that's your holiday weekend recreation forecast. So the next week, here comes the heat. Wenatchee is in the upper right-hand corner, and we're going to be warmer than just about everybody. Usually, Lewiston will get a little bit warmer than Wenatchee, but we're going to be battling Lewiston, Idaho for some really warm temperatures. In fact, on Wednesday, we have a pretty good chance of breaking the record high for that date on June 3rd. It is a distinct, on June 2nd, I should say, it's a distinct possibility for record high temperatures for the middle of next week as a strong upper level ridge moves in and will be dominating our weather through Wednesday and possibly even Thursday. Get ready for the heat. Well, it is almost summer, I guess. From the National Weather Service, your forecast in detail. Again, we got a good chance of rain today. Most of it, if it comes down, will come down in the morning hours between about now and say about noon for the Wenatchee Valley. Clouds and sun back and forth. Clouds are going to have the upper hand for the most part. It's going to be breezy this morning, windy this afternoon, gusts as high as 30 to 35 miles an hour at times. So there you go. It's going to be a stormy day today. Partly cloudy tonight, still windy. Wind's not going to be dying down. In fact, if anything, the winds could be increasing overnight tonight as the rest of the cold front slams through the area. This is the lee half of it. So the winds will not be dying down to the evening hours as they normally do. 48 for the overnight low. Cold air going to be hanging around a little bit on Friday. We'll be in the lower 70s on Friday. We showed you the recreation forecast, how cold it's going to be in many locations on Friday night into Saturday. Not so much here for the Wenatchee Valley with an overnight low of 45. And again, it's going to be either breezy or windy today, tonight, Friday, and Friday night. Wind's not going to go away, but finally, early Saturday morning, the winds will be dying down. We'll start cooking up that scale to 80 to 87 on Sunday. By Sunday, this high-pressure ridge will be well entrenched, and we're looking at 90s. And again, the possibility of breaking records both Tuesday and Wednesday. Our best chance of record high temperatures Wednesday with upper 90s. In some locations, the Tri-Cities and Walla Walla could get into triple digits in early June. And that, my friends, is warm. 9 minutes after the hour. For the record, it is 55 degrees outside of our studios. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll have your news. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
Spring brings new beginnings, new growth, and new hope. At Pat Armstrong Ford, we work hard to make sure you find the right vehicle for your lifestyle and season. Spring means more time outside, spending quality time with friends and family, enjoying everything the new season brings. Whatever you want to do out there, we've got the vehicle to get it done.
Get your spring started right in a new Ford or Lincoln at Pat Armstrong Ford, where we are community strong.
Hi, Stephen DeVilbiss here, Branch Manager of Beneficial and Home Care. We are an equal opportunity employer and we do not discriminate in employment or services. It is our mission to maximize our clients' physical health and sense of mental well-being while remaining in the comfort of their home. We are currently seeking professional caregivers who share our mission to help our clients live safely and comfortably at home. Call Beneficial and Home Care. Schedule your interview today, 509-663-7900.
11 minutes after the hour, we have 55 degrees, fairly cloudy skies. That's what we're going to be dealing with today. Fairly overcast, windy, a little rainy this morning, cooler for this time of the year. Cold front will be blasting through this afternoon, tonight, and hanging around a little bit on Friday. Going to be windy today, tonight, Friday, and Friday night, and then the warm-up begins for the Memorial Day weekend. Here are your headlines at 11 minutes after the hour. Chelan County Sheriff's deputies say a suspect arrested Wednesday after a Wenatchee burglary is the same man who was sought in relation to that brush fire that broke out Tuesday morning near a Highway 2 homeless encampment. The fire proved accidental, but deputies believe 32-year-old Enrique P. Perez was seen fleeing the area. A nearby home in the 3200 block of River's Edge Place was burglarized about the same time, and the victims found wet clothing left behind at the scene. Items taken in the burglary include a laptop, a tablet, and a firearm. The electronic devices gave out location pings the following day, and that made police find several of the stolen items in a red Jeep that was parked on North Wenatchee Avenue. Perez faces likely charges of burglary, theft, and unlawful possession of a firearm. The body of a young man was found early Wednesday morning on a sidewalk outside Moses Lake. The Grant County Sheriff's Office said the death is being investigated as a homicide. Department spokesman Kyle Foreman said the cause of the death has not been confirmed. He said at about 4:30 in the morning yesterday, a motorist reported seeing the body at the corner of Airway Drive and Cochrane Road. Foreman said the young man has been identified, but his name has not been released until his family has been notified. Deputies had earlier investigated a drive-by shooting about a mile away in the Larson housing community. Foreman said nobody was injured in that shooting, and they're not really sure if the incidents are connected. Adults in the Entiat area who've been waiting for their chance to get that one-shot COVID-19 vaccination, tomorrow's your day. The Chelan Douglas Health District is offering a free drive-through vaccine clinic at Fire District 8 headquarters on Entiat Way from 2 to 5 tomorrow afternoon. They'll be offering the single-shot Johnson & Johnson vaccine, which is approved for anybody 18 and older. There's no pre-registration. Walk-ins are welcome. It's part of an expanded series of vaccine clinics with more to come throughout the two-county region. In fact, on Saturday, they're going to do it again. Only this time, they'll be up in Plain. Yeah, the Chelan Douglas Health District will be doing Johnson & Johnson shots Saturday in Plain. It happens during the Fire and Rescue Safety Day event at Fire District 93. That's on Beaver Valley Road, and they'll be doing those inoculations from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. The Health District will administer the one-dose Johnson & Johnson vaccine to anybody 18 years of age and older. Pre-registration isn't required. Walk-ins are not only welcome, but encouraged. The Wenatchee School District made a formal declaration to the state on Tuesday that they're fully prepared to bring back in-person schooling come this autumn. The school board voted to approve the district's COVID recovery plan, which is required by the Office of the Superintendent of Public Instruction. Wenatchee Superintendent Paul Gordon said the district is prepared to serve all of its students, including those who want to continue remote learning.
Part of the resolution is that we also have to have an option for parents and students if they want an online version. And the Wenatchee Internet Academy will continue to fulfill that need for our school district. Currently, we have over 550 students who are registered for our summer program, which is almost 2 times the amount of students who we generally get in our summer program. So we're excited about that. We're also excited that we've been filling our staff positions for that because we did have some concerns, but between all of our communication that we've been doing on our jobs, we feel very confident that we will be able to fill every position and be able to move forward with our plans.
The Douglas County PUD acquired some key equipment earlier this week for its hydrogen fuel project. Commissioners agreed on Monday to a $605,000 bid for hydrogen gas cascading panels. That's a necessary component to produce hydrogen from water electrolysis. The hydrogen facility, which broke ground in March near Orondo, would use about 5 megawatts of PUD electricity from Wells Dam to produce about 2 tons of hydrogen per day, and that's fuel for other industrial uses. The project overall is expected to cost somewhere in the neighborhood of $20 million. One of the many areas that COVID-19 pandemic has been especially disruptive is the foster care system. It's always been a struggle to find enough homes to place kids. Greg Reichenberger is a licensor with Foster First, and Sylvester Sanchez is their foster parent. And earlier this week, they sat down with me to talk about the challenges for Foster First.
As far as that, not having enough homes, a lot, this past year with the pandemic has been a big factor in that because some of our largest recruiting efforts are done like through the fair. We set up booths there. We've done some things at the malls. We've done some things through schools.
And of course, there was no school, there were no fairs, the malls were closed.
Yeah. And so we had to get a lot more creative in some of our recruitment efforts in that part. Being able to see families that step forward, that come and that like Sylvester here that say, yeah, maybe I'm not perfect. I don't have all the perfect skills, but I have a heart for children, and I want to help, and that's exciting when I'm on the phone with people like that, and I know that if there's people that are watching this that would like to get in contact with us. They can look up our website, fosterfirst.org, and there's places on there where they can see what the process is involved. They can also there's a place where they can actually leave their name and a phone number so I can get a hold of them and try to answer any questions, anything that they might.
And finally, on this Thursday morning, earmarks are back in a big way in the 117th Congress. The practice of reserving federal project funds for a Congress member's home district, well, it fell out of favor in the early 2000s, but the rules have changed. And 8th District Congresswoman Kim Schreier, who of course represents most of this area, has racked up the second largest volume of earmark requests of any House member for this fiscal year. Our very own Jefferson Robbins spoke with the Congresswoman about the practice.
Earmarks used to have a bad reputation as pork barrel politics, allowing individual members of Congress to send millions of dollars back to their districts for road projects and other public construction. But in the current Congress, Republicans and Democrats have agreed to allow the practice once again, with extra transparency around whether elected representatives or their staff stand to gain from them. In all, there's about $14 billion that Congress members have a chance to earmark this fiscal year.
When we think of that particular word, we think of the bridge to nowhere, right? We think of projects that, were kind of backroom deals. And so it was really important to me, and I would say, to all of us, to make sure that if we were going to help direct spending in our districts, which I think is really important because we know our districts better than bureaucrats in Washington, D.C., then we need to have the most transparent, ethical system possible.
8th District Democrat Kim Schreier has requested $892 million in earmarks for surface transportation projects, including $13 million in roadway improvements geared for Link transit buses, $2 million to upgrade North Wenatchee Avenue, $12.7 million to rehabilitate the BB Bridge across the Columbia. In all, about $42 million of her requests would benefit projects in the Wenatchee Valley. The largest single project, widening State Highway 18 in King County, would take up $665 million of the total. Other road and highway investments include projects in Issaquah, Ellensburg, and the I-90 corridor. Schreier also requested almost $10.4 million in what's called community project funding, non-transportation money for civic projects, including $1.7 million to help the Chelan County PUD expand fiber optic cable to underserved areas, and $941,000 toward affordable housing for working people in Leavenworth.
We're talking about a rural area. We're talking about a district that has been phenomenal in providing broadband to the county. And this was one area that had not yet been reached. And, given the importance of education and telemedicine right now, it would be a great investment. Most people who work in Leavenworth cannot afford to live in Leavenworth. This seemed like a really great investment.
Schreier's total spending request is the second largest of any House member this fiscal year. She relied on public work groups to recommend worthwhile projects for earmark funding, and she's not the only North Central Washington House member to do so. Republican Dan Newhouse set aside $27.9 million in transportation spending and nearly $16 million on community projects for his 4th district. Newhouse's transport money would go exclusively to Yakima and Walla counties, but his community project funding includes $2.5 million for a railway shipping expansion for the Port of Quincy, and a similar amount for the proposed Health Science Center on the Wenatchee Valley College campus at OMAC. All earmarks must be approved by the House Appropriations Committee or the Committee on Transportation and Infrastructure, and those votes might not happen until the end of summer. Schreier says when she set out to fund 8th District projects, she wasn't concerned about the large size of her request.
I did not take into account scale. What I took into account was where the community need is. And it was important to me, representing this district, to put forth projects that were really important.
Jefferson Robbins, NCW Life.
And thank you for that report, Jefferson. We appreciate it. That's the news at 22 minutes after the hour. Grant and Eric and everybody else who participates in the news gathering and dissemination process will be doing so throughout the course of the day today. We'll have a newscast for you tonight at 5, 6, and 10. And look at the bottom of your screen. That's any of the number of ways you can get a hold of us using our Facebook page. You can email us directly, or you can go to our homepage, ncwlife.com, and click on the contact icon. Going to take a break. When we come back, sports highlights from the Mariners' loss to Oakland yesterday afternoon, plus high school results. We'll have the obscure holiday. Today in history, some celebrity birthdays for you, an opinion from Mike Magnotti, and my conversation with Jim Heinlein from Springwater Insurance, and Shiloh Burgess from the Wenatchee Valley Chamber of Commerce. We're talking about Independence Day. The fireworks party at the park is back. That'll be the topic. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
My name is Lacey Haggerty, and I am a nurse midwife with Columbia Valley Community Health. I love all aspects of my job because it is a profession that's very committed to empowering women to make decisions in their health care that feel best for them. It's incredibly valuable to me as a midwife that I get to take care of women throughout their whole lifespan. I hope to see you at a future visit because I know you'll love having midwifery care.
Hi, this is Brian Snyder with Black Rock Asphalt Services here in Wenatchee, your local Black Rock seal coat company. Have you looked at your driveway or parking lot lately? Is it gray and oxidized? Does it have cracks that have not been taken care of? Or do you have striping that is pretty much non-existent? Please give us a call locally here, 509-665-9769. Learn more at blackrockasphaltsealcoating.com.
24 minutes after the hour, sports. It was a valiant effort, but the Mariners came up short in their comeback bid. Oakland got the better part of Seattle yesterday afternoon. 6-3 was the final. Another pitch by committee bullpen kind of day. Robert Duggar took the loss. He went 3 in the third innings. He allowed 5 runs on 5 hits, 1 strikeout, and 3 walks. They were trailing 6-0 in the 8th, and then Seattle tried to come back after the A's pulled their starting pitcher, James Koprelian.
Maybe if you want to call it his peak almost, as Haniger finds a knock. Godoy coming home. Laureano, a sliding stop to cut it off. Mariners put up a crooked number here in the 8th inning. Haniger with his second base hit today. But think about it from Dave is rising to his peak and prime, and Junior was doing the same.
As you mentioned, he carried it for a lot of years, and then Junior showed up and took some of the pressure off of him. Exit velo of 106, so Haniger continues to hit the ball hard. But yeah, that combination was Yeah, it was awesome. It was an awesome thing to see.
And after Haniger's RBI double, Kyle Seager came to the plate with an RBI base hit.
Seager,
There you go, Kyle.
base hit into right field. Haniger being waved in. He scores standing. The Mariners have cut this lead in half.
Yeah, all of a sudden, they had nothing going all game, and now solid base hit, a lot of off-speed pitches from Petit. Kyle has certainly seen him a lot over the years. Stays back just long enough to hit this line drive into the outfield.
Still only one out, and that'll bring up Kyle Lewis. Piscotty got to that ball quickly, got the throw in.
Mariners are not being fooled at all. All of these balls have just been pasted everywhere in this inning.
That was as close, of course, as the Mariners came. The final again, 6-3. Manager Scott Service says, hey, Oakland is a tough offensive ball club when you're going by the bullpen by committee approach.
Coming in the ball game, knowing that we were going to be a little thin on pitching, you're hoping that Duggar could get us a little bit deeper. But he actually, I thought he threw the ball okay. Oakland's very patient, and they did grind some at bats against him, and wasn't maybe as sharp as we've seen him in the past. Doug's a really good competitor. He really is. And like I said, maybe his breaking balls weren't quite as tight or sharp as they have been in the past, but we knew we had to lean on him hard today based on where our bullpen was. And I thought he gave us a really good effort, just maybe not his sharpest. After that, I thought, Mills struggled a little bit, again, command-wise, and against this team, you have to throw strike one. The other guys, I thought, good inning from Miz today. We need to get him back on track again. And, we're down 6-0 in that game and really could have cashed it in. I thought our guys had some good at-bats late in the game. Obviously, Caprillion shut us down. We had the traffic there in the fourth inning and wasn't able to get a big 2-out hit to get us back into the game at that point. But, we put pressure on them late. I really felt good about Jared up there against Diekman and knowing that Haney was up behind him. But Jared probably had one of the most unlucky games you can have offensively. Probably should have had 2 or 3 hits today, but nothing to show for it. So, again, we went 2 out of 3 here coming out of San Diego. It's a good series for us, just up a little short today.
Mariners return home. A 4-game series starts tonight at T-Mobile Park. Texas is in town. Chris Flexen will pitch against Colby Allard. The rest of the American League West on Wednesday, despite a 5-run 8th inning, LA held on to beat Texas 9-8. Taylor Ward led the way for the Angels. He went 3 for 5 with a 2-run home run and 5 RBIs. Luis Garcia and the Dodgers. He held the Dodgers to 1 run on 2 hits through 6 innings. Astros beat LA 5-2. Jose Altuve, Adelmis Diaz, Alex Correa all went deep for Houston. And Oakland's lead in the West is still a game, I should say, over Houston. The Mariners slipped to 5.5 games back. They remain in 3rd place, a half game in front of the Angels. Another classic bowling match between the Panthers and the Wildcats yesterday afternoon at Eastmont Lanes. The Panthers won the opening game 650 to 634. The Wildcats came back to win the second game 657 to 610. It all came down to the final game with Wenatchee's Kyla Hankins rolling a team-high 240 to help Wenatchee win 738 to 662 to take the match. Katie Hines had the team high for Eastmont. She rolled a 200. Wenatchee improves to 2-0 on the year. Eastmont falls to 1-1. Wenatchee and Eastmont faced the always tough Moses Lake Chiefs on the wrestling mats yesterday, and, the Chiefs had no problems with the combined Panther Wildcat squads, 52-9. And Wenatchee Valley swept a doubleheader against Treasure Valley yesterday in the opener. Eastmont grad Colby Vauchal went 3 for 4 at the plate, including a home run to help the Lady Knights win 15-6 in 5 innings. Allison Bates also went 3 for 4 with 3 runs and 3 RBIs. In the nightcap, Allison Bates, 2-run base hit at the top of the 7th was just enough as Wenatchee Valley held on for the 14-13 victory. Bates also had a grand slam home run in the 4th, finished with 7 RBIs in the game. Coming up today, the Lady Knights host Treasure Valley at 1 o'clock. Also today, the Wenatchee Valley men's baseball team has a doubleheader at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium against Walla Walla, a town so nice they named it twice. First game starts at 1 o'clock. Those are just some of the games that people are playing on this Thursday. Today, I got 2 obscure holidays. Today is National Grape Popsicle Day. Don't spill it on your white cotton shirt. You can forget about that. But no, it's kind of overlooked. It's an office staple. Cellophane tape. Many people call it Scotch tape. Scotch tape, of course, is a brand name. It's owned by 3M. So congratulations, Megan. You have your own brand. Cellophane tape. It's an office staple. Almost every desk has a thing of cellophane tape on it. Its usages have never really gone away. How did the term Scotch tape came about? It was developed by Richard Drew, and a body shop painter bought some cellophane tape to use to paint a car, and he came back and he said, take these tapes back to your Scotch bosses and make it stickier. Scotch was slang for cheap or stingy, and they kind of liked it. And now it's a brand name. So the overlooked essential office tool, cellophane tape, aka Scotch tape, today is your day because it said so on the internet. Today in history. 91 years ago today, May 27th, 1930, the 1,046 tall Chrysler Building in New York City, the tallest man-made structure at the time, opens to the public. There's the top, the famous spire of the Chrysler Building. It was the tallest building in the world for exactly 11 months. And then it was surpassed by the Empire State Building. It is still the tallest brick building in the world, and the Chrysler Company was never involved in the construction or the ownership of the building. Walter P. Chrysler paid for the project himself, not the company. Thus, the Chrysler Building, which opened its doors 91 years ago today. Speaking of an iconic structure, which began operations, the Golden Gate Bridge, the most photographed bridge in the world, creating that link between San Francisco and Marion County, California, opens, and this is the opening ceremony. It took 4.5 years to build the Golden Gate Bridge. The War Department owned the land on both sides of the strait, so it had to authorize the construction of the bridge. They did. In 1930, when they were still planning the Golden Gate Bridge, there were over 2,000 lawsuits opposing the building of the bridge, most of those lawsuits by ferry companies. You realize once the bridge was built, they would be run out of business, and that's pretty much exactly what happened. The 19 workers who fell from the bridge but were saved by the safety netting underneath the bridge, they became known as the Halfway to Hell Club. The Golden Gate Bridge is 84 years old today. 59 years ago today, that is Centralia, Pennsylvania, and at the town dump in Centralia, Pennsylvania, it caught fire. Unfortunately, the town dump was located directly over the coal mine in Centralia, Pennsylvania, so the mine caught on fire because the landfill caught on fire, and the fire, which started on May 27, 1962, 59 years ago today, is still burning and will burn for the next 250 years. How the fire started in the town dump has never been determined. The town of Centralia, Pennsylvania has been abandoned, as you might imagine, because nobody wants to live in a town that's been on fire for 59 years and will be for another 2.5 centuries. And finally, I love this moment. 40 years ago today, this is the 40th anniversary at the Kingdome in Seattle, Kansas City Royals outfielder Amos Otis hits a slow roller down the third base line at the top of the 6th inning. Take a look.
Otis, right-handed hitter against reliever Larry Anderson. Fastball tapped at the plate. It'll trickle down the third baseline. The Mariners are going to let it roll. Lenny Randle gets down on his hands and knees and blows on it like a curler, and it goes foul. Randle puts on quite a show, and here comes Jim Fryout, and he's going to protest with home plate umpire Larry McCoy that Randle cannot get down and influence the direction of the baseball. A little full swing trickler by Otis down the third baseline. It looked like it might just stay fair, and Randle coming in make you forget Laurel and Hardy in a hurry, and he comes in. looked like your basic man with a broom. The curler out on the ice and blows it foul.
I have never seen that before in baseball. If this is allowed, Kenny, that will be part of the arsenal, I'm sure, of the third baseman from now on, especially on AstroTurf. They may give him the base, and I think that's exactly what they're going to do.
Now, there was no written rule against doing what Lenny Randle did, but they did the right thing and gave Amos Otis first base anyway, and then they immediately wrote in a rule that said he can't blow the ball foul. Can't fault the guy for trying. 34 minutes after the hour, birthdays. A guy who's probably most famous for how he died, shot playing a poker game. Wild Bill Hickok, born in the state in 1837. I was playing a poker game in a saloon in 1876 when he was shot and killed. He never sat with his back to the door. He always sat in the very back of the poker table so we could see everything else. But that particular day, that seat was being taken, so he sat someplace else, did not see the person sneak up behind him and kill him. In his hands, he had 2 pairs, aces and eights, which has since been known as the dead man's hand. Wild Bill Hickok, born in the state in 1837. Slammin' Sammy Snead, born in the state in 1912. Died 20 years ago at the age of 89. He and Tiger Woods are tied with 82 victories on the PGA Tour, which is most all time. So whenever Tiger Woods wins another PGA Tour event, if he does, he will surpass Sam Snead. But right now, Tiger and Sam Snead are tied at 82 apiece. Sam Snead never won the U.S. Open. He was runner-up 4 times, but never won the U.S. Open. Henry Kissinger. Henry Kissinger celebrates a birthday today. He's 98 years old, of course, German by birth. Richard Nixon, Secretary of State, a Nobel Prize laureate. One of my favorite quotes from Henry Kissinger, he said, "The nicest part about being a celebrity is that if you're at a cocktail party and you're stuck with a boring conversation, they always think it's the other person's fault." Henry Kissinger is 98 years old today, and 2 Hall of Famers are exact contemporaries. They were both born on the exact same day. Jeff Bagwell, Bags, he's 53 years old today, and Frank Thomas, the Big Hurt, also 53 years old today. They are both in the Baseball Hall of Fame. All right, 36 minutes after the hour, we got an opinion from Mike McNulty, plus my conversation with the folks who are putting on the Let's Have a Blast 4th of July fireworks extravaganza and party. But first, Iburi the cat needs a home. Megan McPherson and Pause for Pets.
Hey everyone, Megan here with the NCW Life Channel. We are here with Haley at the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society, and Iburi is joining us this week. Can you tell us about this guy?
Yeah, so he came in as a stray originally. He had an injury around his butt. He's fully recovered now, and now that he's here and up for adoption, he is a really sweet guy. He prefers calm and quiet over everything else. And when he gets those requirements, he'll stay down here for a while and let you love on him and pet him.
Okay. And what kind of home is he looking for?
Probably mostly adult home. Quieter teenagers are probably fine, or quiet kids, because he does startle a little bit with loud noises. Other than that, he really has no specific requirements for him.
Okay. And what should someone do if they want to adopt him?
If they want to adopt him, they need to call our front desk at 509-662-9577 to schedule an appointment to meet him.
The Wenatchee Valley Humane Society is located at 1474 South Wenatchee Avenue and is open by appointment only. Call them at 509-662-9577 to schedule a meet and greet or visit their website at wenatcheehumane.org.
At Earthwise Pet, we take an all-natural approach to wellness and nutrition. Our professional certified groomers were trained by the best in the Pacific Northwest. Our staff here at Earthwise Pet are all certified in pet nutrition. We are here to help you select the perfect food, supplement, and anything else you may need to make sure your pet is living its best and most healthy life. Earthwise Pet, Nutrition Center and Wellness Spa. Online or in the store, we are here for you.
Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere is your place for famous blues, brews, and barbecue.
Currently, Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere is open for dine-in and take-out. Owner Justin Hefner and his staff are just as excited as you to get back to their regularly scheduled full menu, music, and poker, so stay tuned. Meanwhile, Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere is serving a limited menu for lunch and dinner, dine-in or take-out.
Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere, the coolest place in town.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog McNulty, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. So my wife says to me, you need new clothes. There's a hole in these pants and there's stains on this shirt. Well, the hole is somewhere where no one can really see it, you know, and the stains really, unless you really look, you're not gonna see them. And besides, I hate shopping. And I'm using the word hate here. So I tell myself to replace these clothes because of some minor imperfections is an environmental crime because of the unnecessary use of new resources needed to make new clothes that replace these old clothes that still have some utility. So I'm not a slob. I'm an environmentalist. Yeah. This is Mike Mad Dog McNulty, and that's my opinion.
boating in the Wenatchee Valley starts at Bob File Boats and Motors. See their full line of Crown Line boats. Crown Line features the Forte gel coat, which perfectly accentuates the sporty silhouette of this boat. Its contours are further enhanced by Crown Line's patented Fast Tab hull design, which not only embraces the distinctive sports car styling, but also ensures a safe and comfortable ride. See Crown Line boats at Bob File Boats and Motors on Sunset Highway in East Wenatchee or online at bobfile.com.
Bob File Boats and Motors, we're dealing. Bob File's gonna make you smile.
Somewhere behind these doors is a family member, often alone, taking care of a loved one with Alzheimer's or some other disability, or providing care for a loved one who is not ill but only aging and no longer able to care for themselves. In the field of caregiving, this is the home front. For the home is where most Americans will live out their last days. Contact Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington for a variety of services, including caregiving, meals, and medication help.
Hey folks, Carrie here from Blueberry Hills, here to welcome you back to all the delights of both indoor and outdoor dining. As things continue to normalize, you can expect the same great experience that's made Blueberry Hills a true family favorite for the last 20 years. We've added a few new items to the menu, but not to worry, because we're still serving up your old favorites too. So come on out to Blueberry Hills, where people fall in love at the very first bite.
Welcome back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Come heck or high water, Independence Day is coming again, July 4th. Only this year, the party returns to Walla Point Park. All we had last year were the fireworks. We were glad to bring it to you here at the NCW Life Channel from the roof of the Town Toyota Center. But now the party is back on with a few COVID adjustments. To my immediate left is Executive Director of the Wenatchee Valley Chamber of Commerce, Shiloh Burgess, and Jim Heinlein, no stranger to this television station, who is the title sponsor. Let me tell you what that means. He wrote a big check, and the check cleared the bank, so he gets to do on the get going. Well, by the way, in Jim's office, this is fun. I love this place. This is great.
It's gorgeous. It's fun.
Yeah,
it's,
absolutely gorgeous.
We do work here, but we play a little bit.
Yeah, I noticed the ping pong table when you walk in the door. Jim's a fitness buff. He's always biking or doing something to keep himself in shape. He's a lot like I am. Tell me, before we get into the 4th of July stuff, talk about this office. This is cool.
Yeah, we've been here for a few years. You know, in fact, kind of funny. My first office was in Dave Solomon's closet. His office. I actually paid $500 a month to work in his closet, and then I graduated to some other locations, and so we saved our money and were able to purchase a building, and we did it a lot in mind with the clients, kind of a comfortable place.
Yeah, Jim started out with Senior Insurance Services when he hung out his own shingle, and obviously you're growing by leaps and bounds because you have this beautiful facility, this beautiful campus, and you have a staff. You've got like 15 people on staff instead of just you. So that tells me that you're doing good.
Yeah, it's hard to do customer service and grow your business at the same time, and so we have actually dedicated customer service staff that answer the questions for folks, and we've been really fortunate to expand to 5 offices in North Central Washington.
That's great. That's fantastic. That's fantastic.
Well, you know what the most enjoyable thing? Everybody we've hired came off unemployment.
Yes.
So it's like, that's cool.
Wow.
That's neat.
How did COVID affect your business? I mean, obviously, some of your clients are older, shall we say, certainly more susceptible to COVID-19. How did your office handle this whole pandemic over the last year and a half or so?
Yeah, we quickly had to reschedule every meeting because we had all these one-on-one meetings. We had all these group meetings, and so everything went to over the phone or Zoom meetings, and that was tough. I did a meeting to 50 people on Zoom, and when you don't have feedback, you don't know if is anybody liking this or disliking it, and so you kind of like occasionally, I would have to say, am I making sense to anybody? In fact, is anybody out there?
Because you're used to that. You're used to one-on-one, sitting down and getting the best deal, and the proper deal for your client, individual client. So.
Yeah, well, we call it the most suitable fit.
There you go.
Yeah, because we're independent agents. We're brokers. We work with most every company out there. And even if we're not licensed with a company, we'll still teach you about it. And so, yeah, it all worked out well in the end.
And I like the beard. That's a new look for you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen you with the beard before.
I'm still having to get used to it.
Yeah.
I've been out biking. You got your helmet and your sunglasses, and I'm going down the road, and I'll see a friend like, hey, Todd. And Todd will look back at me and go, hi. Oh, Jim. Like, what?
I was amazed that I was getting recognized on the street wearing a mask. I thought, hey, that's the best thing nobody knows who I am anymore.
Lone Ranger. Who was that masked man?
Yeah.
And then I start talking, and then it's all over.
There you go.
So you're the title sponsor. So how did that whole thing come to be with Springwater Insurance hopping on board this?
Yeah, well, actually, years ago I would see things like that and see opportunities like that, but then of course my checking account would just not handle that very well, and so it was something I always wanted. So crazy. I actually always thought it would be so neat if someday I could help out with these big projects. And I'd look at guys like Roger Bumps. He was always helping in the community, and so that was something I aspired to. And so the first opportunity, when of course the budget and the opportunity lined up, we were so excited to participate. Yeah.
So my guess is you get really good seats at Walla.
Yeah.
Jim's here. You can sit wherever you want, Jim. Thank you very much.
Well, if the park's empty,
yeah.
Hey, take your pick.
The party's back on, Shiloh, after 1 year off. We still had a wingding last year. A lot of people went to the Town Town Center parking lot and watched, even though Walla Point Park was closed. But now we're back.
We're back.
What's the same from 2 years ago, and what's different from 2 years ago?
Well, the same is we're going to have amazing fireworks brought to you over the Columbia River, which is going to be exciting. What's going to be different is how that all kind of shakes out and goes down. So we always remind people, because of our fire danger and our fire season, that the fire marshal here has the ability at any point in the show to shut down the fireworks. And so it's kind of similar this year with our health side of the house. So we've been working with, obviously, Chelan Douglas Health District and the medical officer, Dr. Butler. And what we've said is if there's something happening in the community that would make a large gathering like the one that we're intending to have at Walla Point Park not safe for us to do, or a potential detriment to the hospital system, then similar to the fire, marshal, he could say you need to modify your event, you need to shut things down, you need to do things different. And so we're going to be operating under that, because we want people to know that when they come with us, they're going to be safe. And what we're doing is with them in mind. Similar to his philosophy, that suitable partnership, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So if it's suitable for your family to be watching from your backyard, then we want you to do that. If it's suitable for you to come down in the day and maybe get a cornhole tournament in or something like that, or listen to a band, whatever works for you, we want to make sure we have plenty of options that people can have a fun, safe, and friendly 4th of July.
I'm assuming you've been working with Luke Davies on a regular basis. You probably have a cell phone number. He's been part of the decision-making process?
He's aware of how we're wanting to do it. Everything with COVID changes, it seems like, every couple of weeks or every 3 weeks, depending on when new regulations come out. And so with the governor saying that, June 30th, we're going to be fully open, we still don't really know what fully open means. We know that throughout the day, we can have about 15,000 people come through Walla Point Park. And then that night when we light off the fireworks, we tend to have somewhere between 3,000 to 6,000 that are down there with us. But that park is very large. And so, expect differences when you're commuting in. If you're utilizing Lake Transit, they're still operating under different guidance. And so, more distances on the bus, masking still is probably going to be in place for that, but we're working with them to try to have more buses available. So, we're making sure that if we have lines around restrooms, that people can still keep their distance if they need to and feel safe. And, of course, if it's suitable for you and your family, now would be a great time to get vaccinated, because you'd be fully vaccinated by the time the 4th of July came along. So
the Link shuttle will be from the Winco parking lot.
That's my understanding.
That's just the way to go. You don't have to worry about traffic tie-ups. The Link is getting priority to get in and out of the park.
Yes.
But as Shiloh mentioned, because they have to work under federal guidelines, to our knowledge, on July 4th, you'll have to wear a mask if you ride on Link, and you'll have to sit apart. I think they do every other row, something like that. So that's something you absolutely need to keep in mind.
Yeah, and we'll make sure as we get closer to the date and a lot of this stuff solidifies out that we're using all of our friends to get the information out. But we are planning to have a lot of fun. We're planning to have live entertainment. We're going to have a little bit different. We won't be doing the orchestra this year. We're going to be doing the big band live to the fireworks celebration, which is super exciting. And we're still going to have food vendors there, everything from barbecues to tacos to ice cream. And so it should be a really fun day, and it wouldn't happen without folks like Jim and Heimline Insurance. So we're very grateful that we have amazing partners that want to do this with us as well as for us in the community.
And you're encouraging businesses and families to put together teams because there's activities. You mentioned cornhole when you came by and saw me at the office a couple of days ago.
Right.
Yeah.
And again, assuming that we're allowed to do this, so we're waiting for the full approval for that. But if it works out, we want to do a cornhole tournament and create a little bit more of the county fair effect. Yeah.
So what's the grand prize for the winner of the cornhole tournament?
Dinner with you.
What's second prize? 2 dinners with me.
Dessert with you.
A couple of years ago, they tried something new. Charlotte, I want to ask you again. The tennis courts at Walla Walla Point Park, because they're fenced off, made for a perfect beer and wine garden. Anything in that, that line of thought?
Red, White, and Brews is still coming to us from Confluence Rotary, so they're another partner this year, which is super exciting. We will not have them in the tennis court, though. We're going to put them in Shelter 1, and so they'll have a great front row seat to the stage. A couple years ago, we shifted where the stage placement was, so it kind of fed right into that area, and then they'll also be able to extend fencing out. They're close to the vendors. Last year, or 2 years ago, they also had a hot dog stand going on in there, so I imagine they'll have some food definitely tied to that, which is part of regulations. You have to have food on site if you're going to do a beer garden.
Exactly.
But we are super excited to have red, white, and brews, which is so great, and I do think they're going to have some hard cider there as well. I don't know about the wine, but people should have a good time, which is fun.
So it sounds like we're good to go. Hopefully on July 1st, if everything works out right and we're fully reopened, then we're looking like it's going to be just like it was 2 years ago, which was one big party.
Yeah, it was going to be one big party. The one thing I would say is parking is always an issue down at Walla Walla Point Park. So once we reach full capacity, we shut parking down. Typically, we'd use Town Toyota Center for overflow. We're not exactly sure how that's going to work yet because the mass vaccination site is still there, but we think it may be exiting by the end of June, so all that timing could work out. So definitely check at the WenatcheeValley4th.com website so you can see what's happening with parking. Like us on the Facebook page. We'll use channels like Jim's to help get news out, the Chambers channel, everybody. Just check before you go, the things that you need to know.
And Facebook too. You guys got a great Facebook page.
Yep.
So go ahead, Jim.
What I would do is actually ride my bike.
Yes.
I've got my light. Well, I guess I kind of do that. No
yeah,
surprise.
That's
but
great.
You put on your night light and your tail light, and you're good to go.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to it. Of course, we'll, as we have the last 5 or 6 or 7, I've lost track. We'll televise the actual fireworks display from the roof of the Town Toyota Center. Thank you to Mark and Chris and the crew for allowing us to do that. How we doing for sponsorships? And we need to remind people that even if you sit out on the deck of your house in East Wenatchee, fork over a couple of bucks to help offset the cost of the fireworks, because fireworks are expensive, and you got to book these people months and months in advance so you can get them on the 4th of July. So touch on that if you don't mind, Charlotte.
Yeah, well, I mean, we always say if everyone in the Valley gave $1, the show would be fully funded. Thanks to Jim. Jim gives lots of dollars, so that's a big help. But if everyone in the community gave $4 to the Community Foundation or wrote a check, they could write a check straight to the Community Foundation with Independence Day celebration or 4th of July in the memo field, and it would go into the account. But yeah, we're still looking for business sponsors that want to partner with us. It costs amazingly about $80,000 to do this show, and part of that is the show, but a lot of it is health and safety costs, and we anticipate those costs to be a little bit more expensive this year because we are trying to do this coming out of COVID or with COVID contained and whatever that means. And so, we may need to take some additional precautions that will cost some additional funding, but everyone's worth it. We're worth it, right? We want to do this party. We want to do this celebration. So we definitely would invite individuals and businesses to continue to partner with us this year.
And you get a nice little, I forked over $20 last year, and I got a nice little card that said thank you for your money, and it was a tax write-off.
Yeah.
Which I forgot to write off on my taxes. I need to talk to my CPA brother. He's got another gig on Thursday nights. He's kind of busy. Jim, since you're the title sponsor, I'll let you have the last word. Anything else that's on your mind while I have you here? Besides this beautiful, I can't but get over how nice this building is.
Yeah, we're going to play ping pong in a moment. But
kick your rear end in that.
I'm just really appreciate them letting our organization participate. I really hope that the COVID things work out. I'm really excited too. Just in this time of a lot of uncertainty and confusion in America, Independence Day, I like that this is coming. It's just a great place to remind ourselves about what it is to be an American. So.
And you got to remember, last year, even though we didn't have the big gathering at Walla Walla Point Park, we still had the fireworks.
Yes.
And which was better than nothing. So things become a tradition. Some things didn't happen at all last year, apple blossom. for instance. But this continued last year in a very abbreviated format, but it kept going, so we can keep calling it annual instead of every once in a while.
Yes, it's
So,
true.
Yeah. Everybody fork over $2, all right? $2 per household would fund the thing for who knows how long. So, Shiloh, it's good to see you. Jim, we'll visit again before the Independence Day. Sounds fair enough?
Great, we'd
All right.
appreciate that. Thank
Shiloh
you.
Burgess from the Wenatchee Valley Chamber of Commerce and Jim Highline from some sort of thing that
Springwater
he does.
Insurance
I'm just
Group.
kidding, Jim.
There you
I
go.
love you. You know, Springwater Insurance. Come by and see Jim and the crew if you have any questions
If you
about
need
that.
an event space or a conference room, because we're going to start meeting again, it's beautiful here.
Yeah, this is nice. This is a
So
nice
nice.
campus. And this is building's paid for now, right?
Yeah, I actually had to go to my couch and pull money out of the cushions, you know. But we scrapped together a few bucks.
Jim, it's always good to see you, my friend.
Thanks.
You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
Save Mart is the place to go if you are in the market for home furnishings. They have rows and rows of sofas, love seats, recliners, and chairs in a vast array of fabrics and colors. Name brands include Ashley, Best, and Stanton. With pictures, lamps, and tables to complement your new furniture, Save Mart is a one-stop shop. Save Mart offers 12-month special financing on approval of credit. Save Mart also offers free delivery, setup, and haul away in their service area. Serving the Wenatchee Valley for over 50 years. Located on North Wenatchee Avenue or visit online at savemart.net.
I had to pack up all my things. I had to leave my home. And I never knew where I was going next. It felt like I never even had a say. But then you came along.
Change a child's story. There's a child in foster care waiting for a volunteer like you.
At Wenatchee Power Sports, we proudly offer the Polaris product line. Polaris builds the highest quality side-by-side in the industry, with off-road capability that's second to none. The Polaris pre-order program allows customers to purchase the vehicle they want without having to select from limited dealer inventory. The Wenatchee Valley has year-round access to some of the best ORV trails in the Northwest. Start your adventure here at Wenatchee Power Sports.
You don't have to be a member to enjoy the view and dine in style at Highlander Bar and Grill located at the beautiful Highlander Golf Course in East Wenatchee. Highlander Grill offers breakfast, lunch, and dinner with dine-in or takeout options. Highlander Bar and Grill's friendly staff is here to serve you 7 days a week. Call for reservations Friday night prime rib dinner. Contact Shalane, Highlander Grill's site coordinator, to schedule your corporate event or special occasion today.
And we are back. It is raining lightly outside of our studios, and we're still sitting at 55 degrees. Haven't moved there much at all. And we're in for a pretty wild and wacky day. But before we get to that, one more look at the wind. Now, these are your wind gusts. This is not sustained winds, but as you can see, we're in for some pretty gusty conditions, especially out in the Columbia Basin and in the Wenatchee Valley. As we mentioned at the top of the show, the winds are going to be coming in almost directly west to east. They're going to get channeled into the narrow little valleys in the Leavenworth area and through the canyons and picking up some intensity. So get ready for some gusty conditions today and tonight. The wind will not be dying down in the evening hours tonight. It'll be blowing pretty good all night long. And if you're going to go out and about and enjoy some recreation over the holiday weekend, these are some of the more popular spots for people going for camping or outdoor activities. Republic, Winthrop, Chelan, Deer Park is a beautiful area just north of Spokane. So there's your forecast for you weekend recreationists. And we do want to point out the overnight lows Friday in some locations are going to be very chilly. Look at the overnight low in Winthrop. If you're going camping up there, 37 degrees on Friday night into Saturday. So it's going to be chilly, but then we're going to warm up big time. All right. So from the National Weather Service, let's take a look at it. Again, we're going to be dealing with some light rain today, some clouds, and some wind. We get it all as this rather robust cold front is coming into the area as we speak. We'll get up to the lower 70s. The wind will be pretty intense this afternoon, gusts 30 to 35 miles an hour, and it's going to be just as gusty tonight with an overnight low of 48. Sunshine and windy on Friday, and clear and windy on Friday night. So it's going to be either breezy or downright windy today, tonight, Friday, and Friday night, and then we start warming up big time for the holiday weekend. That's it for us. Have a great Thursday. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.